Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Man Cave here. And we're using the blast from the past camcorder. Yes, this is not the HD one, this is my other one. Didn't have my HD down here with me, so I'm making do with what I got, but alright, this video right here, I don't even know where to start because I've got so much freaking crap to show you guys, it's not even funny. So I guess we might as well dig straight in. As you guys know, I've got Showtime, and I keep breaking stuff on it. I've gone through transmission gears. Hell, I even broke the rear output shaft on the AX2 2-speed transmission inside of it. So for starters, we're going to start with this piece right here, which is the AX2 heavy-duty output shaft, which the difference between the heavy-duty one and the stock one uses E-clips on either end of this hex drive here. The new one just uses shims. So we've got that to fix Showtime. I've got a all steel internal transfer case on the way for it. We're going to move on. Those may just look like any ordinary bearings to you, but those, if you know what you're looking at, are a set of bearings that go inside either a differential or, in this case, it'll be going in a pair of axles. I'm at two sets of axles, front and rear. I've got shafts. The guts are already inside of them. Shock mounts, front and rear. I've got the lockouts. I got these off of eBay. So that's going to be another AR-60 rig. All I've got to do is I've got to order some aftermarket metal knuckles and hubs, which ain't going to cost too much. So we've got, so far, the hardened output shaft for the X2, and then we've got a complete set of Wraith gear axles. I've got steering links and everything, but then we've got this big-ass freaking box right here. What the hell? Even though it says small box, it's a 16 by 12.5 by 12.5. That's not small. We're gonna go inside of this box and we're gonna see what we find. Ah, that looks a little bit familiar to me. This is gotta be, I'd say, one of my favorite tires ever made. The 2.2 RC 4-wheel drive Super Swamper IROC. And no, I don't have just one of them. I don't have two of them. I don't have three of them. I have four of them. Now, what good are a set of tires without a good set of rims? So, we're going to dig even deeper here into the bag of magic. And we're going to pull out, if I can ever get to the bottom of this bag, the bag that has no end. Some original Mayhem monsters with some MT head rings, the sawtooth design. Got one of those there. Here's two. Here is number 3. And we're digging for number 4. Here's number 4. On top of that, also have another bag inside of a bag, I believe. Nope, never mind. Yes, we do have a bag inside of a bag. As I set you guys down for a second, just so I can show you. I open up the bag of magical stuff here. If they ever want to come out. Oh, turns out they broke on the side, so that works for me. Got some different sets of rings here. We've got the stock outer Mayhem rings, which we all know what those look like. And then we've got these Delrin discus style rings, which look actually pretty kind of cool. Put it up there against the wheel. Actually looks pretty sick. So I've got a set of 4 of those. I've got the 4 stock Mayhem rings, and then I've got the 4 awesome Sawtooth rings, which these are, I believe, the 1 1/4 inch. Let me double check just to make sure. Yes, these would be the 1.25 inch Mayhem Monsters, so that will make this tire sit as wide as it is. So, moving on top of the Mayhems and the rings, dig into the bag again and find some more magical stuff. Amazing save with the knee. I've got this set of shocks here, which that's a good thing because I've also got a set of Wraith shocks laying around that I'll be using. We also have a set of MIPs, spline CVDs, some stock steering links for an AR60 axle. Dig to the bottom of the hole, make sure we found everything, because I think on the front, yeah, the front of the Mayhems have stainless, the rear ones have the black oxide screws, which I'm glad I looked in the bag because there was one laying in the bag. So now we have to double check, make sure, yep, all the screws are in that. Okay, that empties out bag number 1. Bag number 2. This is going to throw you guys kind of for a loop. We have a tailgate panel. Dig in here a little bit more. We have some bedsides, right and left. And then we've also got a hood, which is set up for lights, which I like. We've got the old vintage Bronco looking hood. That empties out another bag. So let's look so far. Tires, wheels, shocks, steering links, body panels. What the hell could possibly come next? Well, if we move the body panels aside, and I move this out of the way, as well as this, I'll pull the next piece of the puzzle out, which it has some SCX-10. I'll give you the hint. It has some SCX-10 shocks mounted on it. You guys give up yet? Oh, what is this? We have a set of AR60s with uni shafts up front. That's great. I've been needing a set with unis in it. And lockouts, stock SCX-10 shocks on it. But what is this? We have a 32 pitch slipper on an axial trans here. Axial Wraith trans mounted backwards. It's actually supposed to face forwards, but I guess it'll work. So what all is going to top this? Well, that would be the last 2 things that were in this mystery box, and if you want to look, there's a bunch of pink peanuts. Okay, so what do we got? This is what we got first off. Number 1, we have tube chassis. And more annoying pink peanuts. We have a tube chassis with Wraith upper links, which obviously I think this is meant to sit right on there like that. Well, it'll look better once it's all bolted together. And I mean, hell, you can hide everything with that. So look at that, you got a Bronco. I wonder what happens when you throw one of these on here. If you throw that on there, it kind of looks like a rig. Starting to look like one at least. But it doesn't stop there. Check this out. Bam! A second one. It's blindsided you with another one. So, not one, but two metal chassis. This one is off of a stock SCX-10 frame. It's had some tube work done to it, obviously. And this one here is based for an SCX-10 skid and that running gear behind it. So in that big ass box, you guys remember I had the Blackwell axles from Pocket Change. Well, when I got rid of Pocket Change and got Showtime back, we did the deal and it was basically chassis for chassis, tires for tires, and that was it. And we left trannies in because it was more easier to do it that way. And then last but not least, I keep forgetting, we've got an RC 4-wheel drive wireless winch with nylon cable on it. It's going to need a little tweaking, but it does work. It will work. It just needs a battery hookup for it, so I'll do that. And put a little Kong hook on that. So, for my Blackwell axles, we've got the set of Wraith axles, the SCX-10 skid, the Wraith transmission, two sets of shocks, I'm getting ahead of myself, two chassis, set of IROCs, Mayhems with 3 different sets of rings, and drive shafts. I've got everything here to throw up a really badass rig, and I'm thinking, you guys haven't seen this, I've got a Mamba Monster 2, along with a, you have seen this, Tekin Pro 4. Thinking throw those two together with that cage, and we're going to have one really badass looking Bronco. Maybe put this through the hood, make it look really freaking scale or something. I don't know, sky's the limit. As far as this little rig goes, I'm thinking maybe rock these RC 4-wheel drive dual rate shocks that came off of Showtime. Because if you haven't noticed, well, if you don't know, I put the Energy MSR11 shocks back on the Showtime. But there you go, guys. This is my table was clean not that long ago, believe it or not. Yet now it is once again a freaking mess, which is the way it seems to always be. So whatever. But yes, I'm really digging the big fat ass Mayhem wheels. And I'm thinking that these IROCs are gonna look freaking killer on it, especially with that sawtooth pattern to it. You look at that already and see it's going to look badass. I love MT head rings. He does some great work. The Swamper is, I think I'm going to leave these ones with all the tread on them, just like my 1.9s. I'm not going to cut them like I did the last one. I cut every other small or every other large lug out of it. Either way, now you've got I've got several more projects lined up on top of finishing Showtime over there. And then, of course, you can see Bluebell sitting there. What I'm thinking of doing is making this the big boy rig, and this kind of like a little Polaris RZR. Because, I mean, if you look at it, I've got another tube chassis here that pretty much about the same size. This one probably is for sale. Well, more than likely it is for sale because now that I've got this one to match the big one, I don't necessarily need the smaller one. So, that could go to a new home. Hell, maybe I'll have another contest giveaway or something. Who knows? Maybe raffle it off, do something. Either way, as you can tell, I've definitely got my work cut out for me. I've got to get a set of SCX axles. I've got a skid and several SCX trannies to put into this, so I could probably take one of my rigs apart for now and use it as a parts rig just to get things going. I definitely want to see how this works out. But we've got the big brother and then we got the little brother, so sorry the video's been drug out so long. It's just I wanted you guys to get a good view of everything that I just scored off of a set of Blackwell axles, which when you do the math, the way I had them set up, the two Blackwell axles with XVDs upgraded in the front, 4-link kits front and rear, and VP calipers that we custom mounted to cover the rotors to look like actual Rockwells, you're looking at about $700 after shipping and axles. So I think I got my money's worth out of those axles with this trade here, and I'm very pleased to have it, and probably going to end up repainting both of these. I'm thinking, well, maybe just a little one, seeing how the blue panels do look pretty sweet on here. I think I might leave this one blue. The Bronco might stay blue and just make it look like a old school vintage tuber budget ballin' crawler. Because otherwise, if I left it, I'd probably have to weld in some steel bars here and here, make some door bars, all kinds of funky junk on it. But I've got enough motivation to keep me going for a while now, so hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. Check out mancavemedia.proboards.com, rccrawler.com, southernfriedrc.com, and check out fullscreen.net. It's the new company that I'm running with. If you guys haven't noticed by now, I've no longer rocking the YouTube Google AdSense. I'm now with Fullscreen and enjoying it, so hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to start getting to work. Take it easy, guys.